The right that we sought is to restrain this swearing in. So by the court not sitting, we've lost a great deal.
That's right.
So who is going to pay for that? That section invests every Nigerian with authority to resist whoever is sworn in.
That's right. Yes.
Contrary to the Constitution.
That's right.
Every Nigerian,
yes,
in every station of life,
yes,
wherever he is,
that's right,
that is an order from the Constitution to that person to resist whoever is sworn in unconstitutionally. Yes. So it must be that those who want to do this swearing in have conspired against democracy.
That's right.
And want to overthrow it.
Yes.
Welcome to Nation Voice Tower. My name is Angelo Himalayas, your anchor. In the wake of the events that took place within the last 2 days, injustice has taken over the polity. The Nigerian phase is weeping with a high class of lack of severe or even distribution of justice and fair hearing. I would say that there is a high level of lack of equity in our occurrences, and especially taking part in the judiciary. Talking about the just concluded hearing that took place on Friday, the 26th day of May 2023. Now, did you know, or did you have the real account of what conspired in court? Well, video footages weren't made available until late night. So I told you I would back down from bringing you updates about the polity and the democratic system in Nigeria. Now, in the event of the court hearing initially scheduled to take place yesterday on the 26th day of May 2023 on the petition filed by the FCT inhabitants and residents over the inability of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu, the president-elect, to rack up 25% of legitimate votes in the FCT, contrary to Section 134 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. It was alleged and reported that the judge in charge of proceedings, in charge of giving the hearing and then giving the verdict on proceedings, purportedly ran away from the FCT residents versus Tinibu case. Okay, it was said by the council representing the FCT residents reported to newsmen that the judge that was in charge of proceedings had to actually take a sort of absence from court proceedings yesterday by going for a function that didn't really accrue to much importance as regards to the issue on ground. Okay, now really forwardly you would say that this particular issue by the judge was a sort of misconduct that shouldn't go unaddressed, okay, because as this has become a matter of national concern, and delegates and the council to the FCT residents really wasn't happy with the whole issue at hand. It is no longer news that these particular judges have or left the court deliberately after repeating such a stunt on Wednesday and then repeating it on Friday once more. Let me allow you listen to the council, to the FCT residents, while he bitterly addressed newsmen on what really conspired and what he feels and the issue to take and the road to really the route to take as regards to this issue pertaining to the absence of the judge from court proceedings.
We were here on Wednesday. The court gave us Wednesday as a day to come for our ruling. And then we were given the same information that the court was attending a conference and that the ruling had been adjourned to today. So I take it that at the time they were joining to today, they already knew that they would be out of whatever conference they were going to have. So we're here back today, and they are giving us the same excuse of the court attending a conference. We don't think that that is a fair way to treat us. You see, this thing, everybody has rights. I think the impression that as litigants, as people who approach the court, we have no rights. We are absolutely at the mercy of the system. It's a very wrong one. Respect begets respect. You have to respect me as a litigant, then I will respect you as the judex. So if the court, what we see is that we have not been fairly treated. I have been in Abuja for how long now? Nobody has asked me about my hotel bills. I practice from Lagos. If he wasn't going to sit, he should have told me. He should have told me on Wednesday, I'll be back in my chambers in Lagos now. But he asked me to come back today, only to get the same excuse. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. And as far as I'm concerned, we are, by the grace of God, going to do something about it. In the sense that I think we need to sue. We need to bring it before the court so that it will be examined. What we have lost, the rights that we sought is to restrain this swearing in. So by the court not sitting, we've lost a great deal.
That's right.
So who is going to pay for that? If you came and gave a ruling that we don't have a right, it will be understandable. Now you're seemingly staying away from the court. Makes me understand that we have a right, but for one reason or the other, you cannot find the courage to declare that right. So you are now trying to use absence from the court as a means of depriving me of that right. So I'm going to sue, you're going to pay. You will pay for it. You pay for it. You are going to tell me why you left the court. And we will fight it to Supreme Court. And maybe we will establish as a precedent that Nigerians ought not to be treated in this fashion.
That's right.
With all due respect to the learned Judex, for whom I have the greatest respect. But like I said, this ruling, it will not take 2 minutes.
That's right.
It will not take 2 minutes to deliver the ruling and then get back to any conference that is attending. So what I want to say, I have said it, I have written to all the security agencies, I have written to major embassies, I've written to the American embassy, I've written to the British embassy, I've written to the French embassy, German embassy, and I've warned that you cannot make the mistake of installing an unconstitutional president in Nigeria.
That's right.
It will have been better that you resolve this question that we brought before the court. We are not saying that the question must be resolved in our favor. We brought the question here to be resolved. We have a right to have the question resolved. Like I always say, hearing belongs to me, decision belongs to the court. You understand? So you cannot make the mistake of installing somebody unconstitutionally. It's an overthrow of the Constitution. That person, now if you read section 1 subsection 2 of the Constitution, it says, no person or group of persons shall be permitted to take control of the federal government or any part of it, take control of federation or any part of it, except in accordance with the Constitution. That section invests every Nigerian with authority to resist whoever is sworn in.
That's right. Yes.
Contrary to the Constitution.
That's right.
Every Nigerian,
yes,
in every station of life,
yes,
wherever he is,
that's right,
that is an order from the Constitution to that person to resist whoever is sworn in unconstitutionally. Yes. So it must be that those who want to do this swearing in have conspired against democracy.
That's right.
And want to overthrow it.
Yes.
The Constitution says, section 14, subsection 2A, that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria.
That's right.
And they give consent to those who govern through the Constitution. So where you do not observe the Constitution, it means that you do not have the consent of the people to rule. The people have a right to say, we are not going to recognize you or acknowledge you. Yes. What is coming to Nigeria is what these people, they are behaving like children. As far as I'm concerned.
Animals.
They are behaving like children. We all saw Shoneko here. Somebody went with a decree or word of mouth, made somebody president and commander-in-chief. A court, it took just one declaration from a court, and it was gone. It's the same thing that we are, the same thing that we are getting into. Any court in Nigeria is invested with the authority to interpret the Constitution and can say that the person who calls himself president was not duly elected and therefore cannot answer that title and cannot give any instructions that should be obeyed. And that would be the beginning of crisis. There is no there is no court. I came to this court for the court to tell me that I'm wrong.
That's right.
Rather than telling me I'm wrong, the court stays away from court.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Still Nation's Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. The truth is this. I am disappointed myself because I see no reason why a judge who is brought up or who has his main prerogative as sitting over proceedings in court, especially at this time when there are crucial proceedings and crucial suits in his court, had to go for a function as trivial as a conference. Okay, that is actually totally unheard of and shouldn't be happening to the judiciary in Nigeria. Okay, now the truth is, with the hearing or with the suit supposed to sit yesterday, if the ruling had gone in favor of the FCT residents, then Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu would have been disqualified alongside his vice presidential candidate, Senator Kashim Shettima. But for the judge to really disappear with no traces to an unknown conference, with flimsy excuses to really delay the court proceedings, I will tell you my own take, because I feel there is a sort of foul play here. According to the counsel to the FCT residents, you listened to him and you heard what he said. The truth is this, there is a foul play somewhere. There is a sort of, there are hands pointing at a particular direction where we all Nigerians feel that there are different plays in the background to actually and to purportedly and allegedly impose Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu on Nigerians. Nigerians who fought hard to bring a different person they think would actually undertake the reign of affairs in the country to power. Nigerians who came outrightly to exercise their own franchise by coming out from their homes on the 25th day of February 2023 to vote, to exercise their franchise by voting for their preferred candidate. Okay, and this time around, all said and done after the misdemeanor and misconduct by the Independent National Electoral Commission, who was supposed to be the general umpire as regards electoral processes. Matters have been taken to the tribunal and to courts, to Supreme Courts and to various judicial institutions respectively for a kind of swift and soft resolution. But here are our members of the judiciary, such as the judge at the Supreme Court yesterday, deliberately absenting himself from proceedings. I will tell you that the polity is already sickened, and we will need to really put hands on ground and put more efforts to democratically bring back the stability in the political system in Nigeria. Thanks for giving us your audience on that particular update. The next on my list of updates, I have Dr. Mike Ozekome, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. He addressed a kind of a crowd yesterday in a gathering immediately after the just concluded court hearing. He outlined the different problems facing the polity and how he feels the democratic system in Nigeria has been severed, scattered, shattered, and mutilated over time. Without wasting much of your time, let me allow you watch Dr. Mike Ozekome, the counsel, one of the counsels to the PDP, and what he had to say during the gathering yesterday.
The present Senate, since Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Nwafo Orizu, Dr. Joseph Waya, has been the worst of all the senates in Nigeria's history, with the 8th Senate arguably being the best because they could challenge executive lawlessness and impunity. This Senate is a Senate of Agama lizard. Agama lizard is simply saying yes, yes, yes. It will never say no. Yes, Mr. President. Any budget, any request, yes, sir, Mr. President. So I call them Mr. Yes, Yes Senate. I've also called them Mr. Take a Bow Senate. What do we need a full-blown National Assembly for? What do we need 109 senators for? What do we need 360 members of the House of Representatives for? All of them constituting a drain pipe on our national treasury. So we have this problem of corruption and greed. We have ethnicity and religious sentiments always befuddling us. Ethnicity, you already know. Religious sentiments, you already know. We must strengthen anti-corruption measures and anti-corruption institutions. Not the type we are having now, that they themselves are corrupted. Who will police the police? I'm the umpire, but not like INEC. I'm very independent. So we must strengthen political parties. The political parties we are having now are not political parties. They are owned by some powerful individuals, some powerful politicians. Is that not correct?
That's true.
You all know now.
Yes.
Political parties, the chairman will be invited to the house of maybe the presidential candidate or the governorship candidate. He will be jumping up. How high do you want me to jump, sir? Then he say run. He say, how fast do you want me to run? Is it to say in boat? Do you want me to do? So we must strengthen political parties as vessels to midwife and strengthen and expand the plenitude and amplitude of democracy and democratic institutionalization. Until Nigeria goes back to the drawing board to know that Nigeria today is afflicted by a major illness that is worse than leprosy. Until Nigeria decides to immerse herself in the River Jordan of our nationalism. The present constitution that you are amending, they have already amended it 4 times. They are trying the 5th one. Amendment plus amendment multiplied by amendment cannot solve it, because you cannot amend a bad product. If your house is cracking, you don't just go to the trees and cut off the branches. They will grow again and the taproots will increase. What do? You go to the taproots, you go and uproot them. We need a people's constitution to be subjected to a people's referendum owned by the people. It was done in Libya successfully. Heavens did not fall. In Egypt successfully. Heavens did not fall. In Tunisia successfully. Heavens did not fall. In South Africa successfully. Heavens did not fall. In Eritrea successfully. Heavens did not fall. In Afghanistan successfully. Heavens did not fall. So who is afraid of a new constitution? Who is afraid of a people's constitution? Let us go to brass tacks. We cannot continue to treat a serious ailment like leprosy with a medicine or a drug meant for eczema. We cannot succeed like that.
Welcome back. We're in no doubt that Nigeria is already sickened. Okay, there are litanies of issues that have been or that have accrued to the dented polity in Nigeria. There are lists of issues, political conundrums, political bottlenecks, administrative bottlenecks that have really taken over the reign of affairs in the country that need quick addresses, that need quick solutions. Okay, we can't address these issues without first of all addressing the issue of governance and a stable political system, security and insecurity, and the issue of a kind of wide range of educational system reaching out to all Nigerians across board. Okay, so I would borrow words from Dr. Mike Ezekome there and say the political system in Nigeria has to be brought back to stability. Okay, we should do this by stabilizing the National Assembly, the House of Senate, and the government house, the federal government house. All right, he called on the present Senate, he called them agama lizards who said yes to every policy and every recommendation from the Aso Rock. So I would urge us to really put hands on deck to see if the incoming government are going to make things right as regards the issues that were really pointed out by Dr. Mike Ozekome in that address. That is that on that update. Before we go further, I will just say, I will say you should keep your fingers crossed, because Monday, the 29th day of May 2023 is the alleged day for inauguration and the subsequent swearing in of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu and his vice presidential candidate, Senator Kashim Shettima. So, we don't know if protests will go on, but we'll keep our heads up to see what happens. Finally, on our update, reports have been brought from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, that violent protesters suspected to be from the countryside and the suburbs of the country have stormed the streets of Abuja carrying fetish and diabolic materials and items in an alleged peaceful march in support of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu, the president-elect, and in a sort of solidarity to the build-up to 29th day of May 2023, the swearing-in day. Now, residents in Abuja had got fed up with this march because these people had marched for the second time, and they had to retort in any case to avoid a crisis or a sort of political conundrum or a political pandemonium springing up on a very peaceful day like this. Video footages from this peaceful or this alleged peaceful protest have sufficed. Let me allow you have a grip on these video footages, after which we'll give a brief analysis.
Second day, this group of traditionalists are patrolling around the city of Abuja, supporting Ahmed Bola Tinubu. This is the second day. They are traditionalists. I didn't make a video yesterday. They were carrying a bow, sacrifice, and patrolling. This is the second day, showing their...
All right, you saw the match there. I've never seen such a match, which stands to be peaceful. The match, the last match I saw, the last peaceful protest I saw that had such a crowd was that of the obedience, the 1 million obedience march around Nigeria. But this particular match sounds violent, because if you heard them chanting there, these are not peaceful songs. These chants are not chants of happiness. These chants are not chants of excitement. These chants are not chants of fulfillment. These chants are chants of hard life and chants of people who really don't have the welfare of Nigerians at heart. But these are people allegedly supporting the president-elect. We'll see to it, we'll call on the security agencies in Nigeria, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, and so on, to please put hands on deck to see that the 29th day of May is a peaceful day. That is that on that update. I will urge you to like our videos. I will urge you to share these videos to people around you and in diaspora. I would also urge you to drop a comment for us in the comment section if you feel different from anything we're saying here. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button if you're an incoming subscriber or otherwise a new subscriber. And don't forget to tap the notification bell so you could get updates from us anytime to drop any. From me here is bye. See you next time.